Hi everybody, this is a quick video to show you how to take through Design Space the large bundle of SVGs you get to create these 6 different, I call them jars because they're sort of a little 6-sided container with a lid that pops on and off. It actually sits inside the inside the jar, for want of a better word. I mean, they're made out of card, so I guess the boxes really, but they feel like jars to me, so I'm calling them jars. I'll just go back and show it. So you get 3 styles in this sloping walled version, and there's a very tall one, and it is very tall. It's over a foot tall, and then this middle size, and then the shortest size. Then I'll talk about the overlays in a sec. And then there are 3 with straight sides, and again there's a tall version, a middle version, and the shortest version. And we'll talk about the overlays now. So for all the different sizes and shapes of vase, you get 4 different overlays. So you get this arabesque style one, the honeycomb one like this, one where there is 2 overlays for the longest wall, however big that wall is in the particular jar, one with an offset and another one that sits inside it, and then you get this one, which is sort of a crisscross pattern. The lids for all the jars are exactly the same size because the jars only vary in height once they're in a particular style. And for this one, I used this overlay, you know, the one that you get for the panels and the offset. I use that to create this little window. There isn't a version where you get a window, a jar with a window, but it's really easy to make. If you don't know how to do that, just ask me and I'll upload another little video showing how to do that in Design Space. Right, so they're all dealt with exactly the same way. So really this video, it is to show you how to handle the score lines, just to very briefly as well talk about how much paper you might need to make them. All the jars can be made using the standard mat, so they will all cut from 12 by 12 and obviously smaller pieces as well, because this is the tallest, I think. Let me have a look. It looks like it. Yeah, the straight-sided jar in the tallest version. So there it is on the canvas, and as usual, the first job with any multi-part file that's got score lines is we've got to, just trying to fit it on, we've got to convert those lines that come in as cuts, which we actually want to be scores. And in my SVGs, they always live in the first subgroup in your layers panel. I'm using the desktop version for PC, so I always have my layers panel open over on the right side here. So just click on the name of that group, it selects everything within it, go to your operations menu, choose score from the drop down, and you can see that those lines have been converted now. And because there's more than one set in our group, we have to ungroup. For me, ungroup is at the top of the layers panel there. Next step is to select the group that contains all the cut pieces, and all we need to do there is ungroup, and then a third ungroup of everything that's in the SVG once more. And so now everything on screen is a separate piece, and we can attach the score lines to the individual pieces that they relate to. As you can see at the moment, they can come apart. So quickest way to do that, click on canvas somewhere near a piece to more or less enclose it and click on attach, which for me is at the bottom of the layers panel. If you're using the mobile app, these commands have all got the same name. They'll just be in one of the menus along the bottom of your screen. Okay, so this is the base of the jar. They are 6-sided jars, all of them, so that's one wall section, and this is the lid. So what we need to do next is make 6 of these. So I'm going to duplicate. If you want to do it with your mouse, it's this button here. So you've got 2. I'll select those and just copy and paste. That gives me 4. And paste again, that gives me 6. Okay, so we'll hit make it. Don't want to save it. That's a new little thing in the update I could have done without. Right, so let's choose 12 by 12 because everything will fit on 12 by 12. So this one's quite neat. You need two sheets of 12 by 12 for the walls, a small piece for the base, and the lid will also cut from 12 by 12. Now we could use A3 for these. You could use tabloid, whatever you happen to be using. Tabloid requires 3 sheets. Yeah, I think we'll probably get a bit better with A3. A3 is 2 sheets, yeah. So there you can see they're quite economical to cut because they're all in separate pieces, so there's no really big pieces to take account of. You'll be able to make this with pretty much whatever's in your stockpile, I think. Right, so that's the largest straight-sided one. I'm going to get rid of that. Let's bring in, that's the straight-sided medium one. So again, we're going to do that routine where we select the scores, convert them, ungroup them, select all the cut pieces, ungroup those, whole SVG, ungroup that, and then attach the scores to the lid and to the wall section. And again, we need 6 walls, so I'm just doing Control D on my keyboard there, 3, and then 6. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to bring in the overlays now, because if you wanted to make a project of this, you probably would bring in the overlay that you wanted, wouldn't you? So we'll just pop those down there, and now I'll upload the medium straight-sided overlays. With this bundle of SVGs, you do get a very detailed PDF of assembly instructions, and the first page just gives a diagram of all these SVGs and what they're called, so you'll know exactly what to look for in the folder of files that you get. It's going to be a zipped folder because we can only upload 5 things to Etsy. So it's all fairly straightforward, really. Match, even if you don't speak English, match tallest to tallest, middle to middle, shortest to shortest, or short to short. I can't just remember exactly what it's called, but it's pretty easy to match them up, really. Right, so these are the medium. Why won't it let me move that now? Bit glitchy, isn't it, just at the moment? These are the medium straight-sided overlays. So again, we need to do that thing with the scores. Select the first subgroup by clicking on the name of it, choose score, and while they're still selected, ungroup them. They only have this one score line just across the top, because the overlay, if I just show you on one of the pictures, can you see it goes over the shoulder of the jar? So each piece of overlay just has one score line there. And then we need to ungroup the cut pieces, and then ungroup the whole SVG, and then we can attach individual score lines. I'm doing Alt A on my key. Whoops, a daisy, made a mistake there. Just that. That's it. And we don't want to attach that because they're cut separately. And we'll attach that one. Okay, so let's say we're going to use the arabesque overlay on this one. So again, 6 walls, so we need 6 overlays. 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's the whole project to make the straight, short-sided jar with overlays. Let's click Make It. So all the overlays will fit on one sheet of 12 by 12, but of course they are very small, so you could cut them from A4, and also obviously you can cut them from letter. So 12 by 12, A4 or letter to cut your overlays. This is the actual jar. We'll choose 12 by 12 for that, but again you could use A4 or letter for that. You'd need about 2.5 sheets of A4, probably the same in letter, is it? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we can't get that other one down there. So 3.5 for letter because it's a bit shorter. And again, the lid, as we know, cuts from 12 by 12. So they're fairly easy. That's the whole project there. And I like that the pieces are small enough, so you're probably going to use different weights of card. You're going to use something stronger to cut the main body of your jar, and then the overlays can be made with something just light. Those pads of 12 by 12 you can get with all the lovely designs on them are perfect for that. That's what I used for a lot of mine. Okay, so I'm not going to cut it, so we'll go back. So we've done the tall, we've done the short, we'll do the little one now. There it is. So again, it's the same operation. Select the group that's got the score lines in it, convert them, ungroup them, select all the cuts, ungroup those, select the whole SVG, ungroup that, then attach the score lines to the lid and the wall piece. And we need 6 walls, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, so that's the basic jar construction, the base, the walls and the lid. We'll bring in an overlay now for that one, so they're there. Exactly the same operation as before. Select the score lines, choose score and ungroup them. Select the cut pieces and ungroup those. Select the whole SVG and ungroup those, and then you can attach individual scores. I'm doing Alt A on my keyboard again. We don't attach those. So let's just say, it doesn't really matter. They're all the same size. These are the ones with the lattice effect on them. But we would need 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the shortest straight-sided jar, but it's actually big. It's still a big box or jar, whatever you want to call it. I'll just quickly measure it. The dimensions will be on Etsy anyway, but this jar at its widest point is 155 mil wide, and it stands about 130 mil tall. What's that in old money? About 5 inches tall and about 6 inches wide. So and this is the smallest one, so you can imagine the largest one is very big indeed. Look on the Etsy listing if you want to know exactly how big they are. So make it. Let's choose A4 and see what happens there. Yeah, all the overlays on one A4. That's nice, isn't it? Choose A4 for the walls. We'd need 2 sheets of A4 for the walls. And as I say, it's still a decent sized box, this one. And of course, it's 12 by 12 for the lid. So we'll just try those for argument's sake. Try them in letter. Goes on letter as well. And put those on letter. Look at that. Yep, 2 sheets of letter too. So that's a really economical little jar stroke box to cut into it. The more I talk about it, the more I want to call them boxes, but I'm going to insist on calling them jars. Right, I'm not going to cut it, so we'll cancel. So those are all the straight-sided jars we've just looked at. Let's have a look. Here's the tallest sloping-sided one. Really like this one, actually. I actually used the purple one out of my photographs, this one here, as a vase the other day, without the lid, obviously, and it looked really nice. Exactly the same process as with the straight-sided ones. Click on the first subgroup in your layers panel and convert those lines to scores. Select the cut pieces and ungroup them. Select the whole SVG and ungroup that. And then we can... Have I ungrouped that? I didn't. Missed one. Right, so now we can attach the scores to the pieces that they relate to. I'm doing Alt A on my keyboard, but of course... attach is here at the bottom of the layers panel. Don't want to get so quick that you don't know what I'm doing. We need 6 walls, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is the largest sloping sided jar. Let's bring in an overlay. So where are they? There they are. So the same process as before. Select the subgroup that's got the scores in it, convert them and ungroup. Select the cut pieces and ungroup them. Select the whole SVG and ungroup them. So now we'll just attach the scores. Just get those out of the way. Yeah, I'm going to have to move the lid. It's in the way. Right, so let's do the crisscross one now. As I say, it absolutely doesn't matter because they're all the same size. We need 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, these will fit on 12 by 12. I tried turning those around to see if we could squeeze 4 onto one, and then you wouldn't need that extra piece for that, but we can't, sadly. You know how I like to save paper if I can, but it's not possible. So for the main body, you need 2 and a tiny bit of 12 by 12. The lid, we know it's the same as all the others. It takes 1 sheet of 12 by 12. And these are the overlays. They're quite tall. It's a big vase I called it then. It's a big jar, box, vase, whatever you want to use it for. So you could cut those on A3. You can choose A4 actually. Yeah, they fit within the length of A4. You'd need 3 A4s. They would fit on letter as well, looking at that. Or 3 sheets of letter. That's nice because, again, as I said, you're probably going to use slightly finer card for these, and they will, of course, fit on 2 sheets of 12 by 12 as well. You might actually, no, there's no point. You could, let's have a look. Move that up there. I don't think you'd get another one on, would you? This would only matter, I suppose, if you were using, if you were making more than one, but it won't fit. Ooh, I mean, it might if you really. You'd turn it round, of course, wouldn't you, Judith? Yeah, look at that. So you get 4 on one A4, on one sheet of 12 by 12, pardon me, and then this one, presumably you'd be using half a sheet. You could turn that one around there as well, just take up slightly less. Yeah, so if you were making 2 boxes, you'd get all your overlays out of 3 sheets of 12 by 12. It's these slim individual pieces that makes this quite an economical project to cut all of them, because you can just fit things onto smaller sheets. Right, that's the tallest one of those. I'm not going to cut it. Bring in the medium-sized one now. There it is. Again, go through the scores operation. Ungroup them, select the cut pieces, ungroup those, select everything and ungroup that. Attach the scores to the individual pieces that they relate to. We need 6 walls, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's bring in that 2-piece. We'll use the 2-piece. Tall, medium, there it is. These are the middle-sized inserts. So again, we're going to do this score operation. Select the cut pieces, ungroup them, select the whole SVG, ungroup them. I'm just going to dump those straight off because we're not using them. We're going to use this one, and we need 6 of them. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So again, we know everything fits on at least 12 by 12, but again, it will definitely go on letter. Don't think, you can't turn those around, and they won't go on the other way round. Hopefully we'll get 2 on A4 as well. We do. Right, so yeah, 3 and a bit sheets of A4, or letter, or where is it? There. 2 sheets of 12 by 12. We know the lid again will go on a sheet of 12 by 12. These are so you get the double overlay. You get a larger piece that goes underneath, and it shows an offset around this little top paler piece, or whatever your colour will be when you cut it. You get all of those on one A4 or letter, and the slightly larger one that has the offset peeping around it. Good. You get all those on a... Will you get it on a letter as well? It'll definitely go on A4. And it fits on letter as well. Excellent. So that's a nice economical cut as well. I like it when we're not wasting too much paper. Not going to cut it, so we'll go back, and now we'll bring in the shortest sloping sided jar, which was this one out of the one I made. I'm not going to show you how to do this window because it is a little bit complicated, and I don't want to include that in this video, but if you do want it, if you do want to know how to do that and you can't work it out, please just shout and I will make one and I'll upload it. Right, so shortest sloping sided, there it is. Again, same routine with the scores. Click on the first subgroup, just the name of it. Convert to score and ungroup. Select the cut pieces and ungroup. Select everything and ungroup, and then attach the scores to the pieces that they relate to. There's the attach button. We need 6 walls. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Won't bring an overlay in for this one because we know for sure it's going to fit on one sheet of A4 or letter. So we'll just look at the basic box. This is the shortest sloping sided box. Obviously it will cut from A4. Look at that, the whole thing from the whole box jar body from 2 sheets of A4 or 2 sheets of letter, and we know that that lid fits on one sheet of 12 by 12. So again, that's a decent sized box, and it cuts from really very little card, and it's a really, really nice, I said box again, didn't I? Am I just going to have to call them boxes, do you think? I think if they had all glass windows, they'd look more like jars. And actually, when I had this in my head, that's what I imagined. So maybe I need to make a couple more with the little windows in them, and then they'd feel more like jars. They are jars in my head. Um, they're nice, economical things to cut anyway. No, not much wastage because you've got all those single pieces. And the reason I made some of these overlays, of course, could have been made in pairs or runs of 3, but I didn't want to do that because sometimes it's nice to just have alternate walls covered. So I thought I'd make them all single pieces. They're a little bit easier to apply neatly and match up, and you've got that option of being able to just do single walls if you want to. Right, I think that's it. I don't think I need to show you anything else. If when you come to cut or assemble it, you get stuck on anything, please don't hesitate to get in touch. You can contact me on Etsy or Facebook, whichever you prefer, and the links to do that are in the description below. And if you've just stumbled across this video and you'd like to buy the SVG, the link to do that is down there as well. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye.